Can you imagine $2 million Bitcoin? Well, this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to share with you a tweet from a good person on Twitter who is very reputable, that has a big giant whale friend that does think that that's going to happen. I'm going to discuss that. But first, we have some really interesting news with Elon Musk. Now, he's been getting into some really interesting things about inflation. And here we go. And also taxes as well, which is kind of strange considering that he is actually going to be working for the US government. Okay, so he retweeted this. When the income tax was introduced, what percentage of Americans did that apply to? And it says less than 1%, like I've said many times in many of my videos that I've done in the past. And now he says, and now it applies to everyone. So that's the thing. It's like you give them an inch, they're going to take 10,000 miles. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about governments. Don't ever let them have anything they want, because they're going to take advantage of you. As you can see, taxes are over 50% right now. So, and that's what should have been expected as well. Before 1913, there was no income taxes. And so that was really kind of a shame what happened. But moving on, we also have another tweet. I'm going to cover 3 tweets now from Elon Musk. Really interesting. So he went on a rampage the other day. He says, as a reminder, excess government spending is what causes inflation. And now he says government spending per capita, $6,771, just $26,679 is a pretty big jump. Now check out this graph right here. It's not lying, but here's the thing that I disagree with him on. He doesn't understand where inflation actually comes from. Inflation doesn't come from government spending, it comes from Federal Reserve printing. There's a huge difference, because the government wouldn't be able to spend if the Federal Reserve didn't give them carte blanche on a blank check to spend or to print whatever they want. So the Federal Reserve is who prints the currency, ECB is who prints the currency. Until you get rid of that, you're never going to reduce spending, because it's a private entity and it's unelected, as I keep saying over and over again. Elon Musk, watch my channel. His last tweet is, immediate action is needed to stop the de facto bankruptcy of the US. So it took over 200 years for the US debt to reach $12 trillion. And then now, $12 trillion is how much we add in 4 years between 2020 and 2024. And as I've explained many times in many of my different videos, is that now we're printing 1 trillion per 90 days. And eventually that number is going to get down to every month. And eventually that's going to get down to every single day. Can you imagine how bad inflation is going to be? And there's nothing that's going to stop that, okay? There's nothing, you can't vote your way out of it. It's finished. So that's why you need Bitcoin. That's why we discuss this. And check out this chart right here that he shares. Really interesting, isn't it? Look at that freaking hockey stick, man. I mean, I can't help but chuckle because it's just so ridiculous. Okay, so now let's go over to the mainstream media, which always has your back, right? So let's go over to Jim Cramer. He says Microsoft will never buy Bitcoin. Well, just the other day, Michael Saylor to present to the Microsoft board next month about buying Bitcoin for its corporate treasury. So looks like everybody's going to be hopping on it. It's a shame that Microsoft didn't have the foresight like we did and, bought Bitcoin back in the early days. So yeah, amazing. They should, what's up with these advisors, these financial advisors working for Microsoft? They clearly don't have a clue. So, okay, before I get into the main story, Proton Mail just showed up on the World Economic Forum, which is a big red flag for me. But here's the thing, I wrote that to my team, and then I got this, they showed me the tweet that Proton support had sent out. And so don't worry about it. I've got a lot of questions about this, but it says Proton has no affiliation with the FWEF whatsoever. We simply won an award given out to them by various startups once and have since been featured on their website, which is unfortunate, especially Proton Mail. It's actually a pretty good service. And we do have links below for that service. So don't panic. It's all good. Now let's move on to our final story about, this is coming from Mike Alfred. Once again, he's a great guy to follow. He said, he shared a tweet on the 19th of this month that said, just got out of an in-person meeting of one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world. He was adamant that Bitcoin could see $150,000 a year and $1 million next year. You don't want to fade this guy. Things are about to get insane. And so he actually retweeted this and made a comment on it 13 hours ago, 14 hours ago. He said, I was wrong. He thinks Bitcoin is going to $2 million, not $1 million. $1 million is just his conservative estimate. Now, here's the thing, guys. You're going to see outlandish numbers, okay? So the thing is, you are definitely going to want to take profits, because you know what? Every single bull market, this happens. We're going to hear 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever, to the sky. Guys, these people I think, you know, they want to have maybe some exit liquidity. That's my guess, is what this whale is trying to get people into the mindset of, like, okay, you know, I'm just going to hold until it's going to hit 1 million, well, or 2 million. Well, just, you know, if you want to follow us, we've been in this space for, I mean, I've been in this space for over a decade now. So my suggestion is check out learningcrypto.com. We already have sell orders in place. We are very conservative. We've been through this game so many different times. This is my 4th bull market once again. So I understand how these things play out. It's so typical, and the same thing happens over and over again. And you know what? A lot of these high targets, no way. I'm calling no way they're going to happen right this time. I think next bull market for sure. But this time, think about it this way. Here, I want to end it with this. Going back in history, the rise from $1,000 to $20,000, that was a 20x. Then the next bull market that we had went from $20,000 to $69,000, pretty much at the prior high to the next high. That was like a 3.5x or whatever. Now I think we're going to hit probably a 2x from here, maybe. That's my guesstimate. Let me know what you think down below. Anyways, that's all I have. Enjoy Venice. Venice is a very beautiful place in Italy. It's actually one of the first places where banking actually started, modern banking started in Europe. And yeah, it's really, really a beautiful place.